nearshoring is more than cost. It's about moving faster and moving closer.
Okay.
It's about improving quality, getting rid of the communication barriers, for example. No, but in order to be able to do that, companies have to know what they want.
Okay.
And they need to be able to work closer. And when I say closer, it's not only with distance, but with clear goals in mind of what they are looking for.
Mhm.
So in that way, they can take like full advantage of nearshoring.
Imagine you're leading a startup. The product is finally taking shape, investors are paying attention, and you need to grow fast. But there is a problem. Your team can't keep up, and the current talent landscape isn't helping. What would you do? Would pushing your existing team to the edge? What options are really on the table to move your project to the next stage? Looking for help abroad? In another country? Is something many companies have done, but you've probably heard horror stories that make you hesitate. Different rules, different cultures, and yet you've also heard those fairy tale cases where everything just works almost too perfect to be true. Today we're talking about that moment, figuring out the stage your project is really in and how to bring in right talent to help you tackle this scaling dilemma. Because if you get it right, it might just be the most strategic move you'll ever make. Carlos Rocha has been right in the middle of some of the most critical decisions shaping the future of startups and tech companies. He's a CEO, a former public official, a certified strategic planner, and a LEGO Series Play facilitator. Yeah, that's a thing and it's awesome. Most importantly, he knows exactly when it's time to move, even if the plan isn't perfect yet.
Carlos, thanks a lot for being here again. Good. We've been like trying to arrange our schedules and our calendars and everything, but finally we are here. I'm really pleased to have you. Welcome. Thank you, Edwin, for having me here. It's a pleasure to me also being here with you. I see you here. I see you at the coffee shop. I see you at public service. I see you at Magma. And I'm really, really sure that you have like thousands of projects that you are into. But, but the real question is like, where does all of this match? Where does everything goes into this stray behavior? Okay, that's a really good question. I'm a person that cannot be like quiet. So when I was younger, um, one thing that happened to me is like I remember that I wanted to build something that stay after I'm gone. Okay. I was thinking like how I can build a legacy. I can build something that improves people's life. How I can do something that uh, every time that I wake up, I feel like energized. Yeah. So after a long time of reflection, I basically one thing that came to my mind is that I wanted to make innovation easier for people. Okay. And why? Because when you innovate, you create better jobs. Mm-hmm. And you create better jobs and you make a positive impact in your community. Is basically in that way I'm building something that stays after I'm gone. Okay. And if I can do an analogy how why I'm doing innovation or what it means innovation for me is like from going from commodity to something special. Okay. If I can do this, explain this with an analogy with coffee, it's like coffee is a commodity. You know, the coffee price is regulated by the stock market. Yes. But that when you do something special, when you take care of the plant, when you produce in a good way, when you take care of the roast, when you take care of how you pour your coffee in the cup, basically you break the rules of the stock market. You build something special, and now you have a better price. It's the same with companies. Yeah. When you do things different, when you implement innovation, and innovation doesn't mean technology, digital technology, it means about doing things in a different way. You go from a commodity, to a special company. That's the thing for me. Okay. Speaking about the topic, like really what really matters to us in this episode, when we were discussing the topic, I heard that you were like really into helping people, as you said, through innovation and everything. And you've been running this company, Magma, through what, 7, 8 years? We were saying that
Now we have around 10 years.
more than 10 years. Okay,
Around 10 years.
and then one of the main services that you guys um, have with clients in all the world is like stuff augmentation.
Mhm.
And now with Trump and the tariffs and everything that is going on internationally, what do you see about this environment, this international environment?
I think that is a turning point. It is a big change. All the things that are happening around the world with the new tariffs, with the Trump election, and more than the Trump election, no, it's more about the politics environment, all the movements that are happening in the world. It's a big change, and with the new tariffs, many companies are thinking about moving their work closer to home. And this is not just a small change, no, it's a big change in how companies and how business work. At MagmaLabs, we have been working with Nearshoring for a few times, more than 10 years, 15 years. And we know that having teams close by helps with communication and speed. Now, more companies see that Nearshoring can help them to be more flexible, to save money. So, yes, I think this is a turning point, and startup leaders should look at nearshoring as a smart way to grow and handle changes in the market.
Okay. And speaking of which, do you remember the first time you heard the word nearshoring?
Yes, I do. The first time I heard it, I thought, this is about moving work closer to home.
Uh huh.
But then I realized that it is more than that. It is about working with people nearby who understand your culture and can help you move faster. It's not only about having people work close to you. It's about engage with them, to work with people that knows you better, that knows your culture, that has lived in a similar way to you, and because of that, the culture is more aligned, and and for teams, it's easier to work faster and with a better quality.
Great. Great.
Well, that's okay.
That's really interesting. But I mean, for me, it's kind of difficult, all this stuff about culture and whatever that you're mentioning, right? But try and explain to me. If you have to explain this to the concept nearshoring to a person that doesn't have an MBA, like how would you do it?
Okay. Um, well, imagine you have a school project.
Okay.
Instead of working with someone far away, you team up with a classmate who lives nearby. It is easier to meet, to talk, and finish the project quickly. That's kind of like nearshoring.
Okay. So it's kind of being like in the same place, but not quite, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nearshoring is the difference with offshore or outsourcing. That's the other word. Is when you work with offshore companies, you work with companies that are far away, uh, sometimes in another continent. And because of that, the difference in time zone and in culture are distant.
And that's a privileged position in Mexico, right? That we share time zones with United
We
States.
share time zones, we are close by, and even we share culture.
So yeah, we have plenty of things in common, right? The time zone and that's the privileged way in which Mexico can work with the United States.
Yeah, and take advantage because you have the same time zone or similar time zone, and also cultural alignment. You have more, we have been like sharing this border for a long time, so uh, we think similar, and also we are in a flight of 1 2 hours flight distance, so it's easier to meet
Yeah,
whenever you need.
yeah. Okay. So all this picture, this big picture about globalization and everything, most of companies in the United States want to take advantage, as you said, of nearshoring and the nearshoring effect or whatever. But what are the most common mistakes this company tend to perform when they are trying to hire someone like you?
A big mistake that I have seen is not knowing the reason for nearshoring.
Okay.
Some treat it like outsourcing, focusing only on cost.
So you're saying that it's not only cost,
It's
but they are trying to.
no, it's not. The cost is a huge benefit, but it's not the only thing. No, At the end, you need to have clear goals. Without clear goals and communication, problem can happen. So nearshoring is more than cost. It's about moving faster and moving closer.
Okay.
It's about improving quality, uh, getting rid of the communication barriers, for example. No, but in order to be able to do that, companies have to know what they want.
Okay.
And they need to be able to work closer. And when I say closer, it's not only with distance, but with clear goals in mind of what they are looking for.
Mhm.
So in that way, they can take like full advantage of nearshoring.
Yeah.
It's better, I will tell you.
So we could say like the cost of the budget, like getting smaller, is an outcome, but that is not the main goal, right?
Right. So for me, from the things that I have seen in companies is the companies that take more advantage of nearshoring is those who simply work use nearshoring to scale quickly. And they, at the same time, the cost that they are saving, they use for scale also in the business or scaling in the commercial level, for example, or for research and development. So it is not about saving money. It is about being more efficient with the resources that they have.
And speaking of which, like for example, when a company is always trying to grow,
Mhm.
right? But this can be kind of like an obsession
Mhm.
for some CEOs or boards that are like always constantly looking for growth. But what are the most common mistakes they try to do, like for the sake of scaling or what?
Yes, as you say, some founders push for growth without testing their product first, for example, no, or setting up processes. They spend money quickly and face problems later. For me, it is important to build a strong base first, to focus on the processes, to focus on the people, um, and the product. So it's not only about scaling and spending money. It is about being smart on how they do and setting up a strong foundation in business.
With all this experience that you have, you just said like more than 10 years, and now that I'm making figures, and I think it's more than 10, it's more than 12, it's more than 13, it's kind of 15, something like that.
There.
But with all this experience, have you ever seen like a company that had everything in place to take advantage of nearshoring and scaling and growth and wherever, but they just didn't click at the moment?
Yes, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Sometimes teams have the skills, but they do lack leadership. And without someone to guide them and connect everyone, the team can lose direction. So it is important to have clear roles and communication in the companies.
Yeah, and on the flip side, who's doing it? Who's doing this like right?
Mhm.
Yes, who's doing nearshoring and taking advantage, like the way it's meant to be.
Okay. Well, companies that treat ensuring as a partnership do it well. They don't just hire people. They work together. They share goals and communicate clearly. When everyone understands the purpose, things go smoothly.
So the other day I was speaking with your principal engineer, a really nice guy, and we were speaking about how different projects have been when he's a leader, and something that really catch my attention was that when they are hired to do a specific job, they go inside and see a lot of opportunity areas, right? And it is just like normal for him to point of those opportunity areas, right? Not like errors or whatever, but he's into that kind of situation. And I believe that that's a really great um different thing that consultancy services have to have. So what is your point in that?
I'm gonna say this like as a client, maybe. If I'm a client and I'm looking to hire a company to help me to scale, I'm looking not only for talent to grow my team.
Yeah.
I'm looking for answers. I'm looking for advice. But there are some challenges on that. There is something called power distance index, and sorry, well, power distance index,
Our this is
and that has to be with how an employee
uh-huh.
relates with the power.
Okay.
No? So basically, in other regions, other continents, other countries, and even other companies, depending on how the region relates with power historically, the power distance is higher or shorter. So what that means is when a boss asks for something,
Mm-hmm.
if the power distance index is close, they are gonna do it. Doesn't matter if it's bad, if
Okay.
it's wrong. They're gonna do it because they are the relation with the power is so strict that
Uh-huh.
basically they are used to do whatever they ask, whatever they ask,
Yeah.
no, without saying no. And maybe they're gonna think that this is something bad, no. One example that I say sometimes when someone asks me for an example of this power distance index is imagine that you ask someone to build a glass, but
Mm.
without the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, for me that doesn't make any sense because if you pour water,
Yeah.
it's gonna throw away.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But with people with this kind of mindset, they're gonna build it because you ask for it.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
No, one of the things that we do every time here in Magma, we work with the people, so we do things differently. Even if we see something that is wrong,
Yeah.
we have to tell them. If they want us to build it, okay, we're gonna do it, but at least we're gonna tell you what are the things that you could do better.
Okay. Okay.
And one thing that we have find out is like clients love that because sometimes they don't see that things maybe are not gonna work out. No,
Yeah.
and basically in that way we work together and we build a better version of what they want or they have in their mind.
Now, speaking that if you were a client, what will be like the most important points that someone who is trying to hire nearshoring services has to be aware of? Like, really dig into this company, like how?
In terms of nearshore, not offshore outsourcing, um, understanding that nearshore is like your country is close by this another country that you're gonna hire. The first thing that you need to ensure is that you are legally protected.
Okay.
So that means that the company that you're going to hire
Mm-hmm.
have presence where you are, because in that way the laws are more formal, or you are more familiar with those laws. No,
Yeah.
so if you are in in Canada or U.S., try to hire a company that is based in Canada or U.S. So that way you can feel more protected in case that something goes in another way, a bad way. That is one thing. The second thing is a tax protection.
Okay.
When every time that you spend money, you have a partner that you need to tell that is called IRS. No,
Okay.
so you need to be protected, and you need to ensure that the company that you are going to hire is protected as well. If you are in the U.S., one of the things that you can do is just ask the company if they are how they are in the IRS, how they are in the US, how they are in Mexico. We have a trade between US and Mexico, so basically the companies can take advantage of. No? So that way they can the money they're going to spend, they can feel safe that everything is in place.
Yeah.
The other thing is payroll, how you're paying employees. If you are gonna hire a freelancer, you need to take care of the taxes that you're gonna declare, no, that you're gonna pay because you're paying someone, and you don't know how they are in the tax with the tax evasion in their country.
Yeah.
So when you hire someone, a company like Magma, basically we are in the States. We have a IRS form. We do all the IRS thing in US and also in Mexico where we are, and we take care of the payroll taxes as well. So basically, it's take advantage of nearshoring, take advantage of the cost, take advantage of the culture without having the liability of the legal and tax duties that you need.
In order to invest in what really matters, right? That is growing, creativeness,
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. And without losing, I don't know, your peace, peace of mind, no?
Yeah, yeah, of course. It is actually like in one of your talks that I've listened to, you say that you provide two things. You provide talent for companies, but also time for leaders to think strategically, right?
When someone thinks about nearshoring, then they tend to confuse with outsourcing. You know, like, okay, with outsourcing is I'm gonna save money having temporary people. No, And I remember when we were talking, and I told you like, okay, basically what we do is we provide access to talent. You need talent to build great things. Hmm? But also with that, when you have talent, what happens? You start doing things faster.
Yeah.
So you start saving time.
Mm-hmm.
And that time is the best resource that you can have.
Cool.
The only resource that we cannot generate more is time.
Time's money, baby.
Exactly. So, but the only thing is for that, you need to have the right talent. You can have a lot of talents in different ways, but having the right talent is about knowing your business.
Okay.
It is about knowing what are your problems and how you think and how you speak, because maybe you have a project manager, and that way I can provide you a different talent that if you don't have a project manager and you need us to guide the project, to move the project, to manage the project. No. And also, it's not only about give you the right talents; it is also a context.
Okay.
Basically, we need to make sure that every person in the team understand your company goals, uh, your customers, your culture, because in that way they can understand better your business and can offer you more than only code. Nor they can provide you advice, they can provide you insights about the things that they can provide and do better to improve your business.
That really sounds awesome. But one question that I'm asking myself is like, how do you build those teams that have this old context?
Uh, Well, basically, first of all, when we have the initial meetings, when we have when you come to us, when a client comes to us in the website, and they ask us for a estimation. First, we look for answers and what are the business, what are the focus, what are the customers, uh, and when we have the initial conversation, we try to understand like, okay, what is the problem that you're facing? Do you need to scale? Do you need to solve a technical issue?
Yeah.
Do you need to grow in commercially? No. And first, before we go and do an estimation, we understand what you're looking for and you need. After we start working, we do like a kickoff meeting, and in that meeting, we basically introduce the team to your leadership team and to your business, so they can start working in a better way in the initial phase.
Okay. So let's imagine that you have a startup CEO right in front of you and he's looking for an advice, whatever piece of advice that comes to your mind. What would you say?
Okay, that's a good question. When a friends come to me, or when a CEO, when a founder, when someone came to me and asked for an advice, one of the things that I say every time is like, okay, um, we are living in a chaotic moment. No, and we have things are changing every time. With AI, with all the tariffs, with all the things that are happening around the world, the geopolitical events that are happening.
Yeah.
It's like you need to anticipate.
Okay.
You need to think in a bigger, think on the bigger picture. That means like it's not about understanding the story of your company only. It is not. It is about building a strong foundation, and for that you need to understand how your company perform at this moment. If you have a company that is focused on the short term, that is adapting to the markets,
Yeah.
that is focusing internally and not externally, you need to understand first how your company works. But also, you need to understand what are the trends in the following 3, 5, 10 years.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, the things that you do at this moment, that you build at this moment, are not going to work for the things that are going to happen in the following years.
Yeah.
So first, you need to understand what are the trends that are happening or are going to happen, and understand with a strong baseline.
Mm-hmm.
Once you know that, okay, you start drawing roadmaps,
Yeah.
like scenarios. What are the scenarios that can help you to have more chances of success?
Yeah.
Once you have that scenarios, then you select and create a roadmap.
Yeah.
And with that roadmap, you create a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you have a plan, you need people to execute.
Yeah.
And if you're a company that are looking for nearshoring, because we here are speaking about nearshoring, doing in a smart way.
Okay.
Basically, it's about having peace of mind. So look for a company that give you peace of mind. Have an established company that is legally protected and that doesn't have tax issues, nothing that is gonna bring you problems later.
Yeah. I also remember that once I heard you saying something like, because you're talking about roadmaps and whatever, right? But the first thing that you have to do in order to draw a roadmap that takes you to the next level is for the company to know what is the actual stage they are in, right? I remember that you told me something about it the other day. Like, you can help companies to know exactly where they are because there are some stages, right? Can you tell me more about that?
You need to understand your company,
Mm-hmm.
where you are, yes. And that time I mentioned to you that there are for me like a curve, no? You have the ideation where basically what you're looking is to you're looking for ideas how to build something, like there's that aha moment. After that, you need to build an MVP to validate the market.
Yeah.
No? So you build an MVP, you have certain needs at that moment. There is another stage that is called more like the growth phase. Basically, you need to have more customer, to grow your customer base. Once you have that, now you start focusing on the scaling, how you scale your processes so you can grow more, no, or you go to a different market and you build a different product. And once you have there, and for that, basically you need a team, a strong team that can help you escalate easily, like
Yeah.
to grow your team and build more things. So you main team maybe can focus on the the most value parts of the projects. And after that, you are in an enterprise mode, and basically you need maintenance. Or the other thing is you need to start like maybe going and pivot to another project. So basically for me, there are like 6 stages that each company that is growing happens.
A moment ago, you were talking about AI and all the trendy stuff that is going right now, and how companies not only have to react to what is happening, but also look kind of like into the future of what is going to happen, right? So, how do you see this picture of AI and nearshoring and companies that are trying to scale?
Yes. With AI is the same thing that happens with every new trend. That's in this case, AI is not a trend. It's something that is here and that every company should take seriously. But for that, they need to think strategically.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people thinks, a lot of companies goes when the year is closing, they go and sit down and thinking how things were and how they are gonna perform the next year, and basically they say like, okay, we are gonna grow in this percentage, but things doesn't work in that way. Um, if we can predict the future, well, that would be nice, but
Yeah.
things go chaotic every moment. So you need to think and understand the business where you are, and with AI happens the same. You need to understand what is the best use of AI that you can do? And for that, you need to understand the processes. Basically, it's about understanding what are the processes that can benefit more from AI. Same with that automation,
Yeah.
no? And with that, analyze that if AI is going to save you money, or AI can be used to make the teams stronger.
Yeah.
You can use AI to train your salespeople. You can use AI to do onboarding to any employees. You can use AI to help your developers to code faster and in a better way. So basically, use AI to help your people to be more efficient so they can focus on the things that are going to give you more value in the company. Don't use AI to save money. Use AI to bring more money.
Yeah, yeah, and also I like that part that you say use AI to be more efficient. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Use AI in a way that AI can do the things that take you more of your time so you can focus on what gives more value to your customer.
Carlos, that's awesome. Every time I hear you, I get a lot of ideas, right? Like, I don't know if the people who's watching us, every time I listen to you, I start thinking about my personal projects and everything. But also one thing that I really like is the clarity when you express what is happening in the market, and especially this in the AI. ecosystem and the nearshoring ecosystem. Thank you for being here.
No, thanks to you.
So yeah, nearshoring isn't just a smart geopolitical move. It is also a way for tech teams to gain speed without losing control. And one of my biggest takeaways from this conversation is that when done right, nearshoring doesn't just give you access to talent, it buys time. Time for the CEO, the board, and the leadership team to focus on what really matters and at that stage. Thinking big, making bold decisions, and not getting stuck in daily fire drills. But of course, once you've gained that momentum, a new challenge kicks in. How do you sustain growth without breaking what makes your team and product great? We'll dive into that in the next episode, where we'll keep exploring the kind of decisions that truly make the difference when you are trying to scale without breaking things. It's gonna be good. Stick around. This was the Scaling Dilemma.